dive into the bottom left-hand side. I'm back just in time, really, aren't I? In the bottom left, from Dragon Kaiser Gaming, this is herO. Up in the top right, our red Zerg is Basilisk's Reynor. Couple drones on the way, and a probe scouting obviously wants to get across and potentially block this hatch. Drone's already moving to the third hatch location, so no surprises there. The series lies in the hands of these two, as, well, if herO, if either player wins 2-0, the series ends. If it does go 1-1, we get an ace match, guys. We get that game 7. Anyone can be sent out in the ace as well, so an exciting potential ending. After the day, I mean, this is the sort of series that you expect and would love to see go to an ace match if at all possible. As you see our pro coming up, gateway on the way. Just going to be seeing our spawning pool dropping on down. Probe comes through, scouting in, hatchery coming up, Nexus building. And as we get all established in these early stages, just going to have our overall continuing by overhead. And a little bit of a peek as to what's going on early. I saw herO playing a little bit of PvZ against Dark earlier. Kind of had a couple games where he played that charge, and I wasn't really convinced by the charge that much in that first game, especially that he played. He kind of just rolled over. He didn't do much of anything, so... Okay, coming up. Link speed still coming through. Lings around the right-hand side. Twilight Council still coming up. Our Adept coming through. Our Warp Gate coming in. Just bringing all of that in. As our Twilight Council is about to complete. And just seeing our Twilight, obviously a very big switch up from what we were seeing from herO play earlier. So Twilight ended up a little bit difference here. Like I said, just gonna go Glaives, just because I was expecting him to play kind of Oracles after he did that earlier. Just seeing how it's Stalker pinging through the Overlord. Good damage being dealt here. And that Glaive still coming up. Robo Facility, Gateway, all producing here. Just have our Stalker pinging around. Overlord still staying overhead. Rotron is producing, and we have our Queen and a few more drones continuing out also. Lings run down to the bottom side. The Adepts get that though, and just going to turn those couple Lings around immediately, so defense good initially. This Adept opening going to be followed by the Robo Base, so going to be one of those kind of get the Adepts and then probably some Disruptors and just kind of go for that combination. And Robo Bay, the Adept still coming up. The Resonating Glaives is about to finish in the next couple moments here. The Adepts continue out to the upper right-hand side, and it's looking to pressure on through. The Adepts continue into that top right. Hold a moment then. And oh, they're going to shade right into these Lings, and that's a bad timing because Glaives is not done yet, so this does not become a good trade at all. The Prism evacuates 2 of them. Well, I'd say it's saving grace, but one of them, one of those Adepts is low as well. So good catch from Reynor, good shutdown immediately on what herO was trying to do. I think this is going to put some pressure on this other side. Can he cancel the base? Obviously, we've got Glaives on those few Adepts. Obviously, as you lose some of the Lings, the DPS becomes not quite enough to keep on doing damage there. So that is going to be the Lings pushed away. That was kind of close, though, man. That was kind of close, I gotta say. Obviously, if herO had lost the third base, had to restart that, that would have been painful. Disruptor drops on the way up, getting that Robo Bay Intergravitic drive and all the rest. Gonna see our Prism getting chased back around to the top side, getting chased up to the top again, obviously just not being allowed to do anything. So far defensively this game has been great from Reynor. Not really taking any damage, and we'll see if we can continue that now as the Prism speed gets online. Next, Adepts is going to warp in here. Just going to be seeing the Adepts Disruptors continuing up. And they're coming through. A couple of Roaches getting pinged away at already. The Queen's coming in as well. Disruptors also potentially ready to fire up a shot or two. I mean, not a bad start in terms of Disruptor shots kind of reaching, but Reynor clearly has the defensive numbers that he needs. You see the Roaches continuing up. The Queens and the Roach speed continue in. The Disruptor shot is going to grab another Queen. The Adepts continue to get pushed back, and the Adepts going to get into the main base. I mean, this is where it always gets a bit tricky for Zerg, because the Adepts start going everywhere, and you potentially start taking damage, and you have to do what you can. The Adepts back down to the low ground. Roach is going to get a bit of a surround going onto them. Disruptor shot fires, kills off a Roach already. Let's continue in, just going to see that blink continuing up, +1 attack upgrade as well. And still the Disruptors obviously from this point on will just continue to harass throughout. herO has got a very good worker lead, but he is behind a lot of army, and that's what Reynor is looking to take advantage of right now as he dives across the map to counterattack. Groups coming in, Adepts and the Stalkers taking some damage, just going to be firing. Disruptor coming through. Again, Baneling Nest coming through. The melee upgrade continuing in as well. Just continue to get this set. Roaches on the right side. Rest of the army up the left. Seeing that Prism still just patrolling around the left for a little while. Stalkers go around the right and starting to see where we get to. I mean, hero's still desperate to kind of do, I guess, something, but I mean, his work count is good. He's got so many probes, it's kind of a bit ridiculous when you think of it like that. See now, Roach is counterattacking though. They're going to get straight in the natural, no wall off or anything, so that's going to be part of the problem. So let's see how 5 probes going down, 7 probes going down. Roach continue through for a few more of those probes. The Disruptor shot coming in, obviously still trying to deflect this Reynor army. I mean, Reynor's forces are kind of getting to the point now where it's still kind of low tech, and hero's army is looking much better than it has done, especially with the Disruptor count being so good. So this game is starting to turn a little bit on its head. As Reynor's numbers definitely not looking so hard. A few lanes getting caught here, and again, just the probe count and the base count of herO is kind of astonishing. That Disruptor shot gets cancelled, lifted, and saved by the Prism. Stalker's Disruptor is back around the sides. And we've seen another disruptor shot coming through. Bane's continuing to get kind of picked away at. Army ready to move up to the high ground and just going to be moving forwards. Disruptor gets caught on the left side as well. Reynor's supply, though, is not pretty. I mean, he's getting some banelings up. We'll see if they can make a difference right now. Two melee still coming up. herO just controlling the map, right? Just denying that fifth base of Reynor, not allowing Reynor to set up any further. And Reynor really, in the end, kind of got caught up, I guess, dealing with the Adepts and kind of stuck a little bit. Army comes around the center, just going to have our little bit of creep in some trouble. Just going to see our Banes coming forward, disruptor shots. Okay, I mean, the Banelings are going to connect pretty big into this army. That was a horrible fight for herO. That's pretty much as bad as it gets. I mean, don't get me wrong, Bane's not meant to be great against Stalkers, but everything was stacked there. Corrosive bars, we have to actually recall away. That was horrible for herO. Obviously, Disruptor's trying to deal with a couple of with a group of Banelings that were coming in. If they had hit, well, brilliant. But yeah, this really became nasty. And now he's going to lose these few Stalkers as well. herO still has the money and the income to just rebuild and just go. But that was a big slowdown to him, and maybe it gives Reynor a chance to get set up a bit extra too, because now he's also going to go and get himself the... well, he's got himself +2 melee upgrades, so now he can actually run some Banes on counterattacks very threateningly into mineral lines too, so that also has to be quite a factor. As we continue this Bling Roach Ravager continues in, Zealots continue to be chased around. Ling is trying to wrap around Stalkers and Disruptors, just picking away at these Lings. A couple more Zealots get picked off on the sides. Zealots continue in. It's a lot more Zealots warping in as well. Dark Shrine coming up. Just going to see that Disruptor still coming through and just seeing another Disruptor shot firing out. Lings, Roaches, Ravagers getting pushed away. Still seeing the rest of this army coming in. Reynor just with the Banelings. I mean, that's one of the issues that, herO can just warp in so much, and he can have units basically attacking everywhere. And he's looking to try and force some mistakes and maybe catch some Disruptor shots. Does lose the Prism, though, so he will be slowed from further aggression in the main, so that's going to be a big stop on what he was previously receiving. Things run forward, cannons turning some fire. Stalker's hitting up a couple shots. The Overseer actually can take some damage too. He's going to get knocked down. There's the income graph, by the way, and just showing you how much favored it is for herO. Reynor had struggles getting to a fifth base. This time the Disruptors are hitting big. The next round, Disruptors are hitting from quite deep, so they weren't going to get cancelled or difficult to dodge from as well. Can this Disruptor go off? Yes, it can. Oh, Reynor's losing way too much in this fight. The numbers just keep on plummeting, and herO really looks as though he's going to get it done after such a rough start. Reynor just didn't... Yeah, like I said, I think caught up is the right phrase for it, right? Getting caught up on where we are, on kind of the army he was at and what, he thought was just going to be continued aggression, which it was, but herO's army slowly improved and eventually getting a lot done. Now Reynor just does not have the numbers he needs. It's going to be tough to break it down from here. We just blink forward. Maybe these Banelings can get some connections, but I'm not sure that's necessarily even going to be all that useful. GG's, and herO ends up with a game. And that's going to mean that herO is a map away from taking Dragon. Kaizi Gaming into. Here we go. Jump on into this Reynor and herO. herO's in the upper left. In a moment, you'll see Reynor in the bottom right. Game. Oh, that's a super fast probe across the map, by the way, from herO. Just sends that out as he sends before the probe that goes to build the low ground pylon. So absolutely committed to making sure this hatchery does not go down on location. I mean, obviously Reynor can play off of a third hatch. That's not the craziest thing. It's just one of those maps where you have to send it out that soon to guarantee that this doesn't go down the natural. Just like I say, the earlier you have to send that probe out, the more of a hit it is to your own economy. So herO really wants to make sure Reynor's forced onto that third hatch location initially and going to try and maybe do something from there. Hatch guest pool all coming up. Oh, gateway coming in. As they do have our initial setup getting underway. Our Nexus building on the side of herO, and just, Extractor finishing up. Obviously just probe scouting around and keeping active, being annoying. Pretty much one thing to watch for in the first 2 minutes of PvZ until we see what tech we're working with. Obviously no Stargate game 1, playing that Twilight Council opener. We'll see if that's something herO wants to stick to in a game 2. Plausible, possible. I mean, I didn't mind him getting onto the disruptors, they worked well. The opening itself wasn't exactly pretty. See what he wants to do here on Neo Humanity. Next few moments, try and figure this out. Of course, we need the cyber core to finish to see our tech structures, so that's basically a countdown on the production tab as to what we're about to see. There's going to be a Stargate coming up from herO. Perfect. All right, then. Stargate it is. That is going to be our choice. I like it. Seems decent. Obviously, Stargate's very standard. There's still a lot of different ways that this can get set up. We'll see how many oracles, especially, we end up going to here. As Adept shades through toward the front. Just gonna get a hatchery drop down, and again, Adept just hanging out over here. Chilling for the moment, nothing too crazy. Void Ray coming up. Warp Gate coming in. Void Ray first is a little bit unique, and this Zerglin will see it too. Getting into the main base like this allows you to see the production, so seeing into Void Ray, Reynor knowing about that will know to maybe keep some of his overlords a bit more safely placed, because you're pretty much always going to go overlord hunting from this. And yeah, I mean, like I said, a bit unique. It's very safe in case you end up against roaches or so, the Void Ray, but it's also limited in its uses, and it does delay. Oh, wow, we go for a second Void Ray. Okay, this is wild. We're going to go multiple Voids and take a third. This is not something we really see anymore. And this part might catch Reynor a bit off guard, although there's a reason we've not been seeing this. The Masters of Voids have obviously kind of fallen off in the meta. They are not as good. We got rid of that kind of state of PvZ a long time ago, but we're going to go for a good few Void Rays here to start out with and use those as kind of a core part of your army in these early stages. Void Ray coming over to the right-hand side. Plus Simulators coming down, Robo Facility coming up. Nexus is about halfway done. Just bringing that on the line, and again, Lings, Lair, Roach Run, all that's still coming through, as well as our few Queens will just come forward and drop a couple of injects down, creep spread being placed. Void Ray already producing, and again, Robo Facility, the extra batteries all coming in as well. And Nexus is about to finish up. The Void Ray zaps down an Overlord on the top, taking that down already. Adept is there. Ling's coming wrapping around. Just going to get rid of one Ling. Going to get rid of 2, 3, 4. A few Lings getting picked away out, and just seeing our extra Adept warping in as well. And just seeing our Mortal continuing up in a Forge as well. So a few extra probes coming out. Seeing herO continuing to produce. And really just, I mean, snapping up the numbers for the moment. So very intrigued as to what the next step is, with the +1 air weapons also building. I mean, Reynor goes Spire. If you see a lot of Void Rays, well, yeah, start respecting them and get a Spire up, I guess. I mean, it's definitely got to be something of an answer to the Void Rays, right? This isn't just a, oh, I'm going to make mutas into them, because then obviously Phoenix can build, and that would get interesting. We're going to go for the Lair. It's a very, I have no idea in what world herO thinks this works. There's a transfusion available. Spore Crawler in position. Transfusion is good. Is it actually going to get there? The Void Rays run out of Prismatic. He actually gets it, but is that worth it? 3 Void Rays for the Lair? I mean, Reynor shakes his head. Like, what a ridiculous dive. If you told me he was going to make 4 Void Rays and dive the lair next to Queens, I would have told you that was a dumbass idea. That's exactly what herO has done, and I'm still not convinced by it. Man, that was so close to being not good. As our feelings coming over, Adepts and Immortals here, just picking away at those feelings. Mutalisk coming up, +1 melee on the way out. Lair is about halfway done, as we do see a couple of our creep teamers being picked away at, and our Queens continuing forward. Keeping those Void Rays at bay. Overseer still overhead. 9 Mutalisks coming out. Melee upgrade getting going as well. I mean, all said and done, I mean, now we're rushing up into carriers. We're going to be up against some amount of mutas. Obviously, with the Void Rays gone, they're not going to help against the mutas. With carriers producing, you're not going to build Phoenix against the mutas, so I guess that's going to be a little bit interesting. Knock down a couple of crew teamers in the center of the map. Mutas do show up, and herO has to now start dealing with this. He starts to produce 2 Phoenix. Well, he just didn't know the mutas were coming. The Interceptors will actually work their way through the mutas at first. We get rid of... We've gotten rid of 1. We are very close to getting rid of more. As you can see, the HP bars dropping. We killed 2, lost 9 probes. Obviously, I don't think Reynor should be sticking to these mutas. There's a couple of Phoenix pop. I'm pretty sure that herO should just be kind of done with this. And, you know, you not have to worry too much about these mutas, and obviously if herO builds more Phoenix, I think that then becomes an overcommitment as well, so a couple different things to be cautious of. Carriers on the way. Disruptor still on the way up. Flux Veins coming through. 8 more Corruptors on the way out as well, and, well, I mean, herO just sets up in the middle of the map. He's very eager to just take the middle and just take somewhere he can defend easily, and apparently just sit out here. So that is the herO plan. It's not very herO-esque, honestly, but it's what we're gonna get. And a couple of cannons setting up, obviously, as well. And well, I don't even know, man. This was not what I expected out of this game. Reynor now on his way to Hive. Obviously, if you wanted that any sooner, it might have been difficult because of the lair kill that happened. There was no wall off, so that means the Lings get straight into this base. That's obviously expensive. It's going to cost you a few probes and just take a little while to clean up, and maybe opens attacks elsewhere. There's a few Lings in the main as well. Obviously a continued scout too from Reynor, so he gets a lot out of this. Now he's actually going to roll some roaches in toward this forward base, but there's units that get back over there to defend and deflect that. Just back up to the north, we will have them flying around, and obviously a mineral line here. He picked a way out, going to get rid of a few of these probes already. 6 probes going down, the Phoenix coming over, the Void Ray as well. And see our Corruptors also flying through, going to try and go in toward those carriers. I mean, this is the question mark, right? Can we push these Corruptors back? We're going back into Voids. We did add Flux Veins for the Voids, so continue to invest into them, bring them back into play now. The Spire just continues up. The carriers and the Void Rays all gathering at the front. Original Glands coming up. Pathogen Glands on the way. Roaches come through. Going to knock down a battery, and the Void's just going to come back over, taking down the Roaches again. Lings and Banes roll through. Probe's going to have to pull out of there. A couple of workers going down, but overall we're going to stay pretty stable and hold this off. Spire's just over halfway done. Still seeing the extra infestors and pathogen glands being brought up here. Adrenal glands also coming up. We have 7 spore crawlers on the way out. Raider's just going to come back around the top. We do have our cannon shots going in. Just going to put some shots off. Obviously, the Phoenix will finish this Mutalisk count away. I mean, you know, to be fair, we kind of ended up on herO with a pretty darn good army. Reynor's starting to respond and respect it with the infestors, and just spellcasters in general should go a long way to helping out. Phoenix in the center gets turned back around. The army of herO still joining up, and just seeing our disruptors come together with everything else as well, just picking our way through this set of rocks. So herO now Max is just going to go and fight. I mean, if you fight now, you've at least, you know, going to have a chance to go before there's even more static defense ready, I guess. Problem is, you're also fighting into broods and spellcasters, and attacking into that position is absolutely not easy at all. Attacking straight on through. I mean, the carrier's putting in some work. The Broodlords are just dropping. We're going to actually turn onto the Corruptors for a few moments. See the Void Rays finally activating their Prismatic. Reynor is getting a rebuild up. 11 Corruptors, 60 Lings. The ground army of herO could really do with a few Archons or so. I think if he had some Archons here, this would have looked a lot better. He lost 3 Archons, but that's just doesn't feel like a lot. I guess he didn't have a lot of gas spares. It's not like he was wasting what could have been more Archons or anything, but I mean, herO's going to rebuild, remax, basically just get set to go again. He did work his way through a good amount of the Broods. Some of the new Corruptors are building into Broodlords as well here from Reynor, as this is just a ground attack. Disruptors to zone and the Zealots to just, I mean, what a weird choice of move. I mean, obviously intentional. He's microing it and just kind of sending some of these units forward and believing he's not going to get punished. I mean, a fungal growth would have punished that heavily. Festus still actually have kind of a lack of energy right now as we fight again. We have one fungal going off. I think that's the only fungal we have, though. As extra Zealots get warped in, and somewhat concerned. This army going to push up again. We maybe just got a new fungal. No, it's a parasitic bomb off the Viper. herO pushing forward. Zealots coming through. If herO wins this game, remember, this series ends in Dragon Kaiser's favor. He's gotten rid of all the static defense on the ground, so he's going to make pushing into this position more, easier in the future. So that's a pretty big positive. One carrier abducted and now killed off. Push forward, Void Rays activating, just going to see the couple Corruptors. Well, a little abduct goes off, carrier getting kind of nuked. Disruptors getting picked off. I mean, can we do enough here as Reynor? The air army is kind of disappearing. The Zealots go running into the natural. Going to go chase the Corruptors with the Archons. We get some good shots off. We did kill the Prism. Obviously, you can still warp in from the forward base of Protoss, so it's not like the end of the world when it comes to getting units into this fight. Wouldn't say it's too devastating. These Zealots in the natural. We have killed 23 drones overall. We're continuing to fight. We're targeting down Broodlords. The Void Rays are very particular, just saying all we want to do is kill Broodlords, and if they can kill Broods, I think they're happy. As they chase through Corruptors to do it, though, so they're really giving themselves up. They didn't get all of them. I think herO really wants to get it done just on the ground army on the tail end of this. But Reynor just says, okay, well, you killed a few Broodlords. I'm just going to make a ton more, because now you have no air units. I think that was a massively weird play from herO. But just target Broods is just very surprising to me. I just don't know what he really felt like he was about to get out of that. And now, I mean, obviously supplies reset and plummet a little bit. I mean, I understand if you can kill the Broods and you can push in with another army, but like you didn't really have an army set to go to follow up or anything, right? What a weird situation is. Excuse me, Zealots are going to come back up towards the Archons here. And the Immortals. Broodlords are going to go forward and drop down some Broodlings as Reynor. If he wins this, obviously, this is going to an ace match, going to game 7 of the series. The Broodlings dropping down, our cannons firing back. I think this forward base is likely going to be broken down. Zealot counterattack met and dealt with immediately. Doesn't get shot down, still seeing our Broodlords just firing away, just working our way through this Nexus. Extra Stalkers being made. We're going to come back around this right-hand side, and as we work down the right-hand side, we've got Broodlords moving over. We've got the Roach Ravager taking a step back, a couple Broodlings dropping in. I mean, herO just can't fight that anymore. He really cannot. Honestly, I look back and just still think what a weird fight we had from herO previously. So yeah, Broodlings dropping down again. Stalkers jump up into the high ground here, and just going to see how Broodlords continue to drop Broodlings down. Roach Ravager working our way through gateways. I mean, obviously, hero's just trying to stay alive. I just do not see this, there being a way right now, unfortunately, as the Stalkers are going to find an intercept on the Broodlords. I mean, I guess that's one way to kind of take an advantage away from the Zerg. I mean, the Broods have been a big issue, and you're going to get rid of a lot of them and force them to kind of camp out in, dead air territory. I mean, it's not coming freely. You are losing a fair few Stalkers in this attempt to knock these Broodlords down. Stalkers having to go multiple sides. Archons tank heinous. Can that bring you through this fight? We've got Zealots that are causing issues, and I mean, how many of the units left are still? Is there any Corruptors left, or is all the supply usable supply? These Immortals are trading very well against the Roaches, but we are starting to just run out of units. The Zealots maybe could have done with turning around on that. He is going to kill off the Ravager. Supplies actually really get quite close again, but another round of Broodlords, and that is the problem. Broodlords are such an impossible target right now from here. It was great to catch those ones previously. I don't think Reynor's going to let that happen again a second time around. So the Stalkers jump onto this base. Hatchery being knocked away at, opening up this, chance of herO getting back in this, because now Reynor's only on limited base count as well. Reynor down on workers too. herO is actually kind of stabilizing. A little run by, big run by really, onto herO's base. Going to force him to turn back with pretty much the main army. There's not really a choice there for him. Still just warping in Zealots, High Templar. I just don't know what he does against these Broodlords round 2. I thought he was very fortunate to get the catch the first time around. Stalkers picking their way through. Ling's getting picked off. The army of herO still working down to the bottom. So High Templar warping in, just going to morph them into Archons, getting everything collected at the front. Lings, Roaches coming back around, and just seeing our Zealot Archon force coming through here. Now Lings will be having to pull back. I mean, this army is terrifying if there wasn't a crap ton of Broodlords, right? We're going to blink on the Broodlords right now. A Blinding Cloud to stop the Stalkers from being able to reach the Broods as easily. We drop an Archon toward the Broodlords as well. Don't get me wrong, like the Zealots and so on are doing very well, keeping the Roaches back, but we need more Stalkers right now. We need more anti-air. We need more ways to kill Broods. That's the moral of this game at the moment. And herO don't got it. He just doesn't. Reynor's actually got money to spend as well. It's been obviously a hectic game. Losing hatcheries takes away production, so I can understand he's maybe lava-starved right now. And a couple more Archons on the go. We're going to see Lings diving through the center. herO working off of this left side base now to mix it up just a little bit. Eagles coming through. Zell's going to charge forward. A lot of Lings being picked away at, and do have our Vipers just getting some consumes on the go. Eight Hydra's about to complete here. Our Lurkaden's about halfway done. Reynor with Lurkers really will just shut down this army of herO. Not that I don't even necessarily know if he needed Lurkers, but the one thing he's had some struggle with is the ground force. And Lurkers will deal with that ground arm. So maybe a more consistent way at this point instead of Broodlords, which maybe could get outmassed a little bit. 8 Lurkers start up, and everything that herO has just kind of sucks versus Lurkers. There's nothing good about it for him, unfortunately. Things run in, we grab 4 probes. The Lurkers push back down to the bottom side. Our Stalkers through the middle. Roach maybe it's just deciding what it wants to do as well. A bit of creep spread going down. Our Corruptors continue to produce, and we do have Stalkers pulling back again. Observer still sat overhead, and our Zealot Archon. Little combo here from herO. Looking to see what I can do. Just charging on in. Ling's taking a whole bunch of damage. Reynor maxes, and you can see the Prism on the right side, just a few Zealots inside, looking for an angle, looking for a way to maybe get something done. Cancels this base of herO, doesn't want to let herO have too much economy available to him. And again, like if you look at army supplies, 111 to 130 does not seem bad. It's the quality of armies, you know, there's lurkers, there's broodlords, and these lurkers are apparently on hold positions. So herO, not even sure if he knows about them just yet. So I'm just going to get a Ling, going to work our way through some of these broodlings as well, going after the pylon. And you're just going to see our Stalkers pushing on the right-hand side, and again, some, a decent push, but until the, tech units show up. Once the tech units are here, again, this just get halted fully. It definitely feels like it. I mean, I guess you're working against the mobility of those tech units, and that's what herO does have to his advantage. But his army can kind of go wherever. Reynor's army can only go in so many places. The Broodlords are again off on their own on this left side. Is that not another opening for Stalkers to see some huge success? It very well may be. Well, maybe just a chance for Stalkers to keep on pushing in over here. That's the Hive. Hydra Den, Lurker Den all over here. We're going to blink forward into the Lurkers. But honestly, I feel like just take away the production. I mean, don't get me wrong, I guess there's maybe more to do in this game than kill production, but I feel like this is a great opportunity to get rid of some of the important structures and, maybe stop things from developing later down the line, especially if you start killing some. Please, surely we should kill the Hydra and Lurker Den. You've just killed the Hive. It would take such a long time to reset into that. I feel like that's a massive mistake not going for them. He does turn around. He does finish them off. Stalkers, again, utilizing their mobility. That's what it's coming down to. That's why herO has a fighting chance right now. He just lost 21 probes. He's just trying to shave off what he can with Stalkers, force mistakes from Reynor, hope that he messes up. As the Broodlings will catch the Stalkers just as they expire. hero's army. Going down the left again. The Lurkers are there. You got to be careful. He's splitting the Stalkers off to the right side, so trying to go multi-pronged. The Viper will find a couple of Abducts. Expensive Archon loss for herO. Every unit counts for a lot at the moment. We've obviously established that. Still our Stalkers doing better than expected on the right side. We're actually going to loop back around with Disruptors showing up. Uh-oh, the Disruptors are going to get flanked in by Lurkers, though. Are they going to get any shots off? Getting a few. Can we actually get some onto the Lurkers? Soften them up. Does herO have a shot at winning out? We're going to see the Zealots actually charge into this position too. The Broodlords are completely out of the way. They're not here at all, as we will take down every single Lurker. Reynor cannot rebuild those. He doesn't even have the lair to rebuild the Hydra Den. Oh my god. Ridiculous situation. As Jump and Crack Base, thank you for the 31-month resub, but 55,000 plus resources lost on either side. herO, can he do enough? I mean, Reynor's pretty much at him. He does have some money, about the same as herO. He's got minerals left as well. It is a Hydra Den back on the way from him. He loses the base bottom left. Well, this was where he was getting his mining from. This is the freshest base of Reynor, so that is a huge pick from herO. Into the main base, we're going to kill a hatchery too. And Reynor can't keep up with this. Infestation Pit is going down, so no Hive access going to be available. I mean, these Stalkers going to go after the Spire. Probably one of the greatest Spire too, right? There's an Overseer flying in over here. What else is flying in? The Broodlords. Probably time to get out with these Stalkers. Uh-oh, they're going to be trapped. We're going to recall them. Okay. Doesn't see the need to stick around too long. herO's numbers staying in this. Broodlord's still active. The problem is the Broodlords just run around completely, as we do have. I mean, those Broods on the other side morphin is kind of cute because it means they don't have to get to the other side and they can lay siege to that fresher base of herO and stop some of his economy, which is currently in the lead. So yeah, these morphed Broodlords are actually going to cause an issue for herO, absolutely no doubt. herO might just want to build, but at what point do we actually just build like a single Stargate unit, like a Void Ray or something, just to kill off Broods like these ones? I mean, those ones are being extremely annoying as the Broodlings are genuinely causing an issue here. The Stalkers can't deal with it unless the Broodlords move forward. Broods are still the big problem. Reynor can, still win this game. I love, again, just a single Phoenix. It makes so much sense, though. Stalkers do need to get rid of these Broods ASAP, though, as well, because you don't really want to have a bad time losing your base. There's the single Phoenix, the herO Phoenix to clean these guys up. But what about the Broodlords over here? I really feel like there's not enough to fight against those, and now Reynor's got them in position on the map. The two Stalkers and the Phoenix take down the Broodlord's top right-hand side. herO needs any sort of anti-air he can get. He's just warped in a bunch more Stalkers. All the Lings and ground army in general from Reynor are not in position here, and the Stalkers are going to come in. We're going to just blink on top of Bruise. We're going to start targeting ones in the center. The ones on the edges will get taken down afterward anyways. Reynor is going to run Lings up into that top right base. That's going to be dead. I mean, we're warping in a couple of Zards, but that won't go very far. Man, what about DTs? If he'd killed the Lair and gotten a DT or two up, that could have been really cute if there was no Overseers left over. Army supply is still close. hero's really running out of probes at this point. The Broodlords are kind of far enough back, and I don't think herO can take this fight. He blinks away. He knows he can't really take it, so backs it up. Supply definitely starting to really favor Reynor at this point. Ridiculous game number 6 in this series, of course, looking to force an ace match if Reynor can confirm the victory. What is the anti-air? 2 Hydras is the only 2 Hydras and a Queen. Like, if we actually just build Broodlords, not Broodlords, Void Rays, sorry, we actually might have an answer to the Broodlords that would be really sustainable. Stalker's going to blink in. They need to get rid of this base. You can't really let this mine. The Lurker's going to burrow up. We do get the hatchery, or we will get the hatchery. 3 more Broodlords. Getting some shots off. We're going to turn around. We're going to jump on the Broodlords, but there's Lurkers here as well. Last-ditched effort from herO. It's GG's. Reynor gets the victory, but boy, was he made to work for it every step of the way. Ridiculous! StarCraft 2 as Reynor gets the tied series, and we are going to an ace match. In the top right-hand corner, our Blue Protoss player from Dragon Kaisi Gaming, herO. I wonder if some weird PvZ stuff today. Across the couple of tournaments we've covered. herO, bottom left from Basilisk. The series is all tied up 3-3. First of 2 best-of-7 World Team League matches today. Have our probe coming over. Extractor. Corner cancel up. So just getting that nice early hatch down, so no blockage here on the natural expansion. That will not be stopped, and always good as we have our gateway still coming in. See now, well, hatch gas and pool setup, so nothing really too crazy. No gas actually just yet. Hatch pool, and maybe a gas a bit further down the line here. We'll see. Kind of wondering what kind of build hero's going to come out with. Like I say, he's been pretty intriguing throughout the PvZs today. He's definitely not been he's not been boring, to say the least. He's had a lot of different builds, a lot of different openings, a lot of different setups. Stargates, Twilights, Stargate Oracles, Stargate Void Rays. You know, he really has gone for a little bit of everything pretty much. So, see what this turns out into. Let's just have ourselves the probe still scanning around, trying to see what we can do. And, yeah, Cybercore Nexus all coming in. The probe comes back here to nibble for a drone, and just having ourselves the Overlord scouting up into the natural toward the main base again and check to see just what exactly is going on. Stargate will begin. So it is going to be a Stargate. I imagine we see some amount of Oracles. I would be shocked if we played that kind of Void Ray thing again like we saw beforehand. Two things go up, the probe getting chased. We do have our Stargate about to finish up. The Adept and the Warp Gate continuing through, and the Overlords popping out of the main base, flying forward. Ling speed is on the way up from herO. Queen building. Everything getting set as this Adept will head on down to the bottom side of the map. Queen gonna get here, Adept gonna take some shots. Ling speed is about halfway done. I really do just have a very kind of peaceful standard opening, right? This is really as normal as it gets. Depth shade into the natural, just going to be seeing a few drones and lings hanging around to have the adepts continue to gather up and shoot them together. We'll look for some early damage here, so let's see if we can find something. Let's see if we can get anything done early. We do commit in. herO is going to Evo Chamber blocks, though so far that's a pretty perfect defense. No damage taken. Obviously a little bit of money lost on the drone that has to cancel from the Evo Chamber, but that's about it. I mean, that really is a fantastic trade. Obviously, we don't kill these adepts, but maybe now we do as they shade to the low ground. Ling speed finishes, both adepts die, and what a perfect defense. Oracle met by this next queen already, and even the Oracle is going to struggle to find a chance to even look at a mineral line. My goodness, herO's defense is so freaking good. I mean, that really was a little bit disgusting, right? That really was kind of sickening. That was just absolutely perfect, so yeah. I mean, just absolutely solid stuff. Great job from herO. Beautiful early game defense, and that's the kind of stuff that, you know, we have seen some Zerg slipping with earlier today. I think Dark really struggled against Trigger, right, to not taking early game damage and everything. Well, this is how, you know, masterclass on how to do it. Just going to turn the Oracle away here. Here on his way to Twilight Council, but, you know, with no damage done at all, herO could not have asked for a better start. Get this underway. Just going to see a couple of Oracles push back through the center, and Overlord getting pinged at by the Stalker. Overlord will be going down, so Overlord drops. Twilight Council's about to finish up. The Queens come over. The Oracles get turned back around. The Oracles look as though they want to dive into the main perhaps in the next couple of moments as well. Turn back around over toward the third base. We're going to be able to go after a few of these drones. Also, 1-2, going down immediately. Drop a little revelation in just to see, you know, keep an eye on things. Queens are starting to go across the map. I think herO says, man, I've had such a good early game. Let's go see what I can do on the other side. But hero's picked up on it quickly. Extra Oracle building is cute, but not so cute if obviously the Queens are on the other side able to fight the Oracles. So not so sure about that. Otherwise, the extra battery I do like a lot. Any sort of stack defense should go a long way right now. And maybe herO doesn't actually know about this. I thought he was starting up multiple defenses, but he was just adding on. Okay, now he is, but this is a little bit too late. We'll see the Queens do have a creep tumor to work off of as well, so they will get transfusions at some point here. Battery in the back will begin to do some healing. Lings in the front. Corrosive Vials coming down. Hitting some of the Zealots, but the Super Battery can heal that up, so that wasn't too big of a deal. The Queens need to focus down the Oracles. We do get the transfusion. The drop in creep spread from the Overlord is really good there. As, we turned one Oracle back a bit too soon. It gets nuked down as well, and herO just absolutely ravaging through this base. This is not going to last long at all. As herO is going to be... well, I mean, pretty much just working his way through this. Pylon's going down. Battery's going to drop. Nexus going down. This is all getting cleaned up, and herO ain't really got much to do other than, realize that this game is just not being good for him at all. Obviously, I mean, he just didn't do anything. Followed by herO just executing this time. And, I mean, the extra Oracles really don't help you here either, I don't think, with the Queens coming over and the creep spread. And yeah, it looks as though this is how this series will end. Basilisk will stay undefeated, and Dragon Kaisi Gaming will be 1-2 on the season. This team has like 5 championships between them in the World Team League, and you know, now that, you know, from their old teams that merged, and well, yeah, 1-2 is not what you expect them to be, but they have done that before. Started off weak and got it going. herO not wasting any time, guys. He says, look, Reynor, this is how you do it. You don't mess around with his nonsense. You don't let him build Void Rays.